This live stream portion of DC So Sanctuary was brought to you by AstraZeneca. We put patients first. We play to win. Hey guys, and welcome. Hi guys, I'm DC, and welcome to the Soap Sanctuary, where all soap lovers are welcome, guys. Man, guys, what a week and a year this has been, guys. What a week and a year, guys. This has been a lot of reflections going on around this time, right, guys? Guys, thanks for coming in, guys. I'm really excited for guys' support. Hey, Isaiah. Hey, Albert. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Man, guys, what a year this has been. I'm excited to be on today. I know it's Christmas Eve. Some of you guys are doing some things with your family. So if you guys are able to come on to today's live, I appreciate it just the same. I'm not really too much of a holiday person, honestly. So even watching the soaps this week with the holidays, it kind of fell a little flat for me. Felt like some filler episodes, but nonetheless, I tolerated it. It's kind of like how Albert doesn't like specialty episodes. I love them, but holiday episodes are so kind of all right. What are you gonna do? All right, Merry Christmas to you too, Sam. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Do people still celebrate Kwanzaa, by the way? I never heard people talk about Kwanzaa anymore. Happy Rosh Hashanah. I wonder if else you celebrate. Yeah. Guys, this has been like an impeccable and incredible year. Oh my God, guys. Even my personal life, I've just gone through so many transitions in the past few weeks, guys. It's just nuts. I think all of them being for the best at this point, because I think I am the happiest that I have ever been in a long time. So I'm grateful from that. Some chapters that are been closed, which is not bad. It's not a bad thing at all. I think it was best for all parties involved. So, but I really am truly the happiest ever in my whole entire life, guys. Not seriously. Isaiah says, so sad to hear that Sonya Eddy passed. I am sad too. It feels like when she passed, like it was like it was almost like my mom passed. Hearing that my mom passed. We'll never get to see Epiphany go through medical school now. You know, I think I was I on Albert's live earlier this week talking about it, I believe. Yeah, I was on Albert's live earlier this week. Oh my God, I was. Look at deja vu. Jesus, where have I been? It's like I was trapped in time or something. It's giving Stavros Castadine right now. The cryogenic freezer. You know, it was sad because I felt like I always wondered why Epiphany was not more of a main character on GH. We can speculate about that all day long, guys. Had she been on like a show like One Life to Live, I think she would have been brought as a main character. But I don't know if she's supposed to requested it that way. But I feel like, so what? Rebecca Herbst also requested not to be a character with some good storylines. You know, actress that plays Liz. So after a while, it's like you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. Think maybe they didn't want that themselves, but that would seem to be the case with a lot of actors on GH. So, you know, anyways. All right, so Sam says, I can't wait for Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives. I will be sad and cry. Is that when they do the Horton Christmas thing? Because I caught a little bit of soaps this week, guys. A lot of it was filler episodes because of the holiday thing, but I caught a little bit of it. I felt like Georgia was being hella ungrateful on GH. Or just like, never mind, don't bother. I'm like, girl, listen, you know. And I guess now as an adult, I understand things with parents so differently now. But I'm like, come on, really? They had the whole Lambview Airport backdrop, so I like that. That was from One Life to Live. I know that was. Probably borrowed that set. Aurora Jones. Ooh, hey, Aurora. I've never seen you in my chat before. Aurora Jones. Ooh, sounds so mysterious, like a soap character coming to town to like steal someone's man or something. Aurora Jones. Okay, not saying that you are. I'm not saying you are. I'm making a joke. So I mean, no offense. by that. You said, hi. You and Albert are both fantastic soap viewers. Thank you both all your hard work. Thank you as well. We thank you for supporting our channel. We thank you for that. I appreciate it. Aurora also says, I agree. It's so sad about Sonya. Right as she was about to become a doctor, because we all know she passed that test with flying colors. I know. I just wonder how GH is going to do the tribute, right? Are they going to give her like 5 seconds at the end of a certain episode? You know, is it going to be the magnitude of what they did for Christoph St. John? What exactly are they going to do for Sonya Eddy? That's what I'm wondering, guys. Isaiah says, I hate that Epiphany was so underused. They only occasionally showed her, yet they always show Sunny Carly every week. Shake my head. I agree. They could have utilized Epiphany so much more. I mean, they gave her a little bit of a storyline in 07, 08 with her son Stan dying. And then, of course, they gave her a lot of stuff on Night Shift, which to me showed me the kind of meat that she could work with. But I don't know. We have to bring in 10,000 more characters on screen. They brought in Ellie this week on GH, which felt so random. I'm like, wow, you're still a thing? And then she was calling Griffin on the phone. I'm like, okay, like, is there a reason for this scene that we're seeing you being paired up with Griffin? Is there a reason for this scene, us seeing you call Griffin? Or is there going to be no follow-up to the scene? You know what I mean? Griffin was a good-looking man, guys. Can we talk about that for a second? That was a good-looking man, GH. That's a good-looking man. All right. Aurora Jones says, totally agree. Isaiah, Sam, Paboon. Is it Paboon or Pabone? Which one is it? Paboon or Pabone? So is the first one Paboon or Pabone? The second one. All right. So Sam says it will be Victor's last episode for Days of Our Lives. You know what would really help Days in this moment? Not to like capitalize or seem like a vulture. What if they had Jennifer Aniston come on? I mean, that was her dad. So what if she came on for a special episode as like Victor's long lost goddaughter or something, you know, as a tribute episode, right? It would pay homage to the show that her dad has been on for so long, and it also helps get a celebrity on as well. What do you guys think about that? Jennifer Aniston came on Days. If she would do it, I don't know what the nature of their relationship is. What do you think about that? The Jennifer Aniston, which makes it make sense why they've never made a Brad and Angelina reference on Days, because it wouldn't be in good taste since that's his actually his daughter, I think. Dolomedics says, hey guys, hey Dolomedics, hey. Albert says, have your expectations low for the tribute to her and y'all be fine. It's so tough in life because they tell you in life not to have expectations, but at the same time you got to speak in the affirmative. So which is it this life? Which one do we do? I want to have high expectations, but you're right. The way GH is going, I don't know. I just don't know. I just really don't know. All right, Hill says, considering that Stuart Damon never got a tribute and he was a legacy character, I wouldn't hold my breath for Sonya Eddy getting one. I agree. What was weird is that they gave a tribute to the guy who played Sean Donnelly in GH. And that guy had been on the show in 40 years. Like, he was on Passions, he was on Sunset Beach, he was on everything but GH after that. But they managed to give him a whole 2-day tribute. I don't know. All right, Dolomedic says, I love to see they get Robin and some of the Night Shift characters come back and share some of their Epiphany memories. That would be nice. They could do that. That would be nice. Speaking of Robin, when I was thinking about something the other day when it comes to daytime Emmys, and I've said this before on other people's lives, it would be nice if the Emmys had like a retroactive category where they could give an Emmy out to a past storyline, right, from the past. So that way people from the past who didn't get honored could still get honored. Like Michael Sutton could still get an Emmy for playing Stone, which I think we all can agree unanimously he deserved that, right? I think it would be great to have a category like that, right? Because can you believe people in Color Purple? I don't think any of them really got any Emmys for that. Can you believe that? The Emmys should think about that. Daytime and primetime should think about that. I'm telling you. All right, Aurora says, you know it, Albert. I'm nervous for the Hook Killer reveal. We got to keep our expectations low for a lot of things GH, which is sad. Aurora, do you remember, I think it was this week or last week, where Dante said, yeah, this is the third victim. I think we got a serial killer in our hands. And I was like, you don't say. Like, Dante, we figured this out in September. You know what I mean? You don't say. I'm like, this is late. What does they say? What do they say in Atlanta? Late boots. This is late boots. Come on, guys. All right, Isaiah says, I agree, Dolomedics. I really wish Robin was around. Yes, Robin was my favorite character. If you guys watch on my channel, I have a top 5 favorite soap opera characters of all time. I named Robin number 1, which a lot of people don't agree with it, but that's okay. Robin to me was one of the best soap opera characters of all time. She was. All right, Dolomedic says, unfortunately, we won't see a true Victor tribute for months since Days tapes Farm Dance. Yeah, but Dolomedic is good because it gives them the time to do this right. So now they have no excuse why this should not be done right. And honestly, they need to start talking to Jennifer Aniston's agents, see what they can do. Okay, they need to see what you can do. Get Jennifer Aniston on the show. Okay, because guess what? That's gonna make People's Magazine. If they're smart, I mean, they probably already reached out to Jennifer Aniston. So if she's not on the show, it's probably because she don't want to be. Okay, Albert says Sean was white. That's why. There, I said it. Sean was white. Okay. All right. Okay, that's a new. I respect that comment from Albert. Okay, out of all people. Okay, Albert. All right. You know what you're giving today in the chat. I can't say their name, but you know what you're giving. This is new. Isaiah says, I heard Courtney got a tribute, yet her actress ain't even dead. They had time to do that, yet Stuart Damon got nothing. Yeah, it's disrespectful. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, maybe, that they didn't do it for him. There's not, there could be some behind the scenes stuff that's going on, Isaiah. All right, Dolomex says the UK soaps do an icon award that acts as a lifetime achievement for long-running characters like Epiphany. You see, other countries, they got it together. They understand the business. All right, Aurora Jones says, haha, exactly, DC. Yes. I forgot what I said that made you go haha. All right, Isaiah says it's kind of sad just how GH managed to make a serial killer storyline lose a lot of its momentum. Well, all the storylines have lost momentum. It is sad because serial killer storyline is always supposed to be somewhat promising. You're never supposed to be disappointed from a serial killer storyline. I mean, the last time a serial killer storyline that was done poorly was the Satin Slayer and All My Children, where Zarf, I get that Zarf was transgender, but at the same time, like, why are you wearing Zack Slater's mom's clothes? Like, when the killer is linked to him, like, what are you doing? Like, Pine Valley doesn't have like boutiques around town where you could have bought clothes there. It had to be the clothes of Zack Slater's mom. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for you challenging your gender identity, but you had to go those clothes specifically. That those clothes just happened to attract you. You couldn't find nothing else in Pine Valley. And then you wonder why everybody thought you were the serial killer. All right. Dolometic says, Days did use the time to do amazing. Francis Reed, aka Alice Horton tribute, and got a lot of classic characters to come back. They did that right. Let's see how they do John Aniston. And they better do this right, because his daughter is Jennifer Aniston. I ain't better do it right. She might just blast the show up. All right. Aurora says, amen, Isaiah. I forgot how many months they've already been dragging the Hook Killer storyline and the whole Nina daughter situation. Lord have mercy. You know, honestly, Aurora, this Hook storyline is terrible. I mean, what about that victim? Because technically, Dante was so wrong. We've already had. Oh, wait. No, Dante was right. Rory was the third dead victim. Yeah, because it was Brando, Rory, and then the random person that was in Rory's apartment, which they still haven't addressed. But whatever. Whose apartment was that, anyways? You remember that show with Drew Carey? Whose line isn't it? Whose line is it anyways? Whose apartment was it anyways? All right. Albert says, trust me, I don't like saying that, and I wish we didn't live in a time where I had to, unfortunately. You know, Epiphany felt like a real character to me on GH, and it's not for the reason that you're thinking, but they just reduced her to the sassy black nurse. I'm just saying, that's what she got reduced to, was the sassy black nurse on GH. But I noticed Sonya Eddy, I'm not even gonna lie to you, most of the roles that she played, she always just played the sassy black woman. Even when she was on Everybody Hates Chris, she played the sassy black lady at the DMV. So I don't know. But I'm sad that she's gone though. It's like it felt so real knowing that she died. It was like so sad. I guess in life it's always in life you never know what people are going through, guys. You never know what people are going through. You just never really know. You never know. I want to ask you guys a question that's non-soap related. What is the biggest thing you guys feel like you've learned this year, honestly, in 2022? The biggest lesson that has come to you in 2022? And I'm going to start off first. The biggest lesson that I've learned this year in 2022 is when you need to exit a situation or a job or a relationship, you don't always have to wait for something sinister to take place in order to feel that you need to exit out of something, especially when you see like it's no longer working for you, it's no longer serving you or serving both parties. And so that's my biggest lesson I've learned in 2022, because I feel like as people, when we feel like we want to get out of something, we say it's not working for us, or gotta have a job, relationship, whatever it is, we feel like we have to wait for something sinister, right, to take place to say, okay, great, there's my exit, now I can leave, right? You know, sometimes you'll see that when people in relationships, they're like, you were just waiting for a reason to get out of this, right? Just as an example, right? And I've learned that we don't always have to wait for those kind of things. We don't always have to wait for that to then justify why we need to get out of something. We can just say, okay, this is no longer working for me, this is no longer serving me, and I can just excuse myself. All right. So let me go on comments here. Isaiah says, I really don't like the whole Michael, Willow, Carly, Nina storyline. In my opinion, they shouldn't have killed off Harmony. I agree. I thought, honestly, Isaiah, that Harmony and Alexis were going to be a couple. And I was like, okay, it's giving Otalia vibes. My Guiding Light fans, you guys remember Natalia and Olivia. I'm like, okay, I could work with this. But it didn't go there. No, it didn't go there at all. Kaiwan says, I like the bookstore a little bit. I like bookstore a little bit. Mother died a few months ago. I'm sorry about that, Kaiwan. I'm curious, Kaiwan, is this situation with Epiphany, is that triggering at all for you with that situation? I'm sorry to hear about that. How did your mom pass? If you don't mind me asking. And if you don't want to, that's okay too. You know, you don't have to disclose if you don't want to. Aurora Jones says, so true, DC. Sonya was stereotyped quite a bit. Yeah, she was. Sonya really was stereotyped quite a bit. I mean, she always played the sassy black woman. You know, I mean, that's just what it gave off to me. Just like how in GH, Epiphany was coming, here you go, no swear. She would just do the things with the neck and all of this and that, you know. I was like, okay, you know, all right, that's what we're doing, huh? Okay, you know. So I feel like she was stereotyped quite a bit as well. I definitely would have to agree with that. Kaiwan says a little bit, but she died of cancer. I'm sorry to hear that, Kaiwan. You know, I know that's kind of tough, like, to lose people. I mean, there's a death in my family this year, so it was tough the way it makes you reflect on that. And I just hope that you have people like you can talk to and support system around you during that time. Especially when it's a parent, I couldn't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't imagine what that's even like for you to just go through something like that. So definitely have my condolences here, you know, Kaiwan. So I can imagine that. Dolomedics just chimed in and said that it's funny you said that. Hold on, I'm gonna highlight the comment here. It's funny you said that. I learned the same thing this year. I spent way too long in a terrible job situation, didn't know how to let go. Dolomedics, I can completely relate to that. When you stay in something longer than you should, and I think a lot of times we stay in things longer than we should that we know is longer serving us because we just feel like, what am I going to do next? Or what am I going to do? Or this is the normal that I've known for so long. And the fear of the unknown is always there for us, right? The fear of the unknown. Like, what do I do after this? You know? And it's crazy how when we exit those things, we still see how okay we still are, you know? It might take a while. We might go through some things. Might, you know, cry a little bit. I know me. I had to exit a situation a while back ago when I was crying, but I was like, I want my future. I had some moments, but I realized it's for the best. It's really for the best, and I don't have to be mad. I realized I didn't have to play a blame game because you know, as people, when we want to justify exiting out of something, or it's a job or a relationship or whatever, we feel like we got to play the blame game or find something sinister to justify our exit. We don't always need that. We don't always need that. And Dolomex, you added to what you said. I finally learned to no longer define myself on my job. Let's appreciate the family, friends around me. Yes, I salute that. So many times in life, we feel like we gotta have something define us, and I've also learned that too. I've learned that I don't have to overdo, overtalk, overthink. I can just be, you know, I can just be, and that's enough, you know, and it's enough for who it's enough for, you know. Kaiwan just chimed in and said, it's hard to get used to, but I don't get used to it. I don't think anybody could ever get used to something like that, Kaiwan. I don't think so. Anybody can, because I'm sure there's other people, they lend their support, but it's obviously not their journey they're going through. So I think in some ways your mom is always going to be there with you in your mind. How could she not? You know, like, she's been there with you your whole life, obviously, you know? So, well, at least I'm presuming, right? So it's hard. It's hard for that not to be there. It's hard for that not to be there, you know? Nikisha said, I learned not to. What did you learn not to do? Nikisha, or were you referring to me in Dolomedics when I said that the whole defining ourselves by jobs and stuff like that? What did you learn? Albert, what did you learn? What did you learn, Albert, this year? What did you learn? What did you learn, Albert? What did you learn in 2022? What did you learn? Tell us that. What did you learn? But that's what I learned, guys. Honestly, I have learned to always put myself first. And by the way, when I'm saying that, that's not me like talking shizzle or anything like that. I want to make that clear, you know, because I don't know. What was I saying that? Like, you know, to make that clear, I was never like saying anything bad about my situation that exited, but it taught me a lot in a sense. It taught me a lot of what I need to learn. So, but that's one of the biggest things that I feel like was necessary for me in a sense, you know? But for me, like I said, this has been a very reflection year. I've learned things I need to do on this channel, things I couldn't do and stuff like that. So I'm really grateful this year. Like I said, this has been the happiest I've been in a long time, in a really long time. So, but when I thought about Epiphany and what happened this week, it was very telling, I feel like, to see this happen, right, on GH. And I hope they address it well, guys. I guess we're just gonna have to see how it pans out. But I mean, I hope they do it well. I honestly hope they do it well. I really do. I really hope they do that well. Kaiwan says, you know, sometimes people just got to move on. I can understand that. Kaiwan. That's a very creative mind. Like you a lot. Can make smart, good writer. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Okay, and Nikisha says, I learned not to take things for granted. Last month, I almost lost my teen daughter to suicide. I'm sorry about that. This month, my family was without power due to power outages until 12/27. Yikes. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Nikisha. You know, sometimes in life, you never know what people are going through. You just never know what people are going through, guys. You just never know what people are going through. You just never know. Nikisha says, I learned to appreciate joy when it happens because it often doesn't last. I agree. You know, one thing I've also learned is like not trying to rush that next moment that I think, okay, once this happens, I'll be okay. And just allow myself to be, you know, just allow myself to be. I really do hope also, I agree with Kaiwan that I hope your daughter does get better. You don't have to go into explicit detail unless you want to about that. This is like a different type of live today, guys. I know. We're getting very reflective on today's live, very reflective. You know, so I could understand how those challenges can really change us as people, the things we go through, you know. There was a time where, oh God, what was it? I can't remember what it was. I think when there was the death of my godfather, there was a time in GH where Brando's death, yes, it was triggering me. It was so triggering me. Oh my God, Brando's death in GH triggered the hell out of me. There's certain times I can't watch those, you know. It was triggering as hell for me. The Chelsea storyline on Y&R, I couldn't have watched that years ago. That would have been very triggering for me, right? So, because I'm the type of person, I always try to be very conscious about what I'm putting in, what I'm feeding myself with every day. And sometimes the soaps, depending on the storyline at times, depending on what's going on in my life, I'm gonna have to take a break from that storyline. You know, I might just have to. It all depends, you know? You guys remember how back in the day, whenever like sitcoms and stuff would reference soaps, like if something ever happened to one of the main characters in a sitcom, they would be at home eating chips on the couch and watching a soap opera, and that was usually a sign someone was depressed, right? For whatever reason. So, you know, but you never know sometimes people are dealing with. You just never know, guys. You never know what people are dealing with. Albert, I'm still waiting for your answer. I know Albert's in the chat. I'm still waiting for his answer. He thinks he's gonna get away with this, but I know he's in the chat. What did you learn this year, Albert? What did you learn this year? You know, and this is why sometimes when it comes to soap stars, I am very lenient on a lot of things because I realize these people are still individuals behind the scenes. You know, I watched State of Mind with the actress who played Paris on B&B. And for those of you guys who are going to look for that interview, it's no longer there. Maurice took it down. But I remember watching that interview, and I can see that she wasn't in the right place, or she didn't seem like she was in the best place. Let me put it that way, right? And he was aware of that. And I'm happy that he took that down because it wasn't the best representation of her. And I think he knew that, and he also knew that for the show as well. Albert says to treat people with kindness because everyone has a story you don't know they're going through. Albert, you know you could give a little more than that. Albert, you know you could give a little more than that. All right, but okay, we'll take it. He gave the politician answer, but I'll take it. Nikisha says, GH brings me joy even when I hate the writing. It's a comfort, right? It can be. It really can be at times. When you can just escape in the world of soaps, especially when you're watching a marathon format. Sometimes I watch a marathon format, and I can just escape for the week, you know? I can be a resident. That's what happened when I was a kid. I remember when I was a kid, and, you know, people used to tease me because I was gay and all this other stuff. I was a kid. And I used to escape watching All My Children and GH and My Life to Live on the Weekends and all the other soaps. And it was like my escape at the time. I was like 12, you know? I was like 12, you know? But it was an escape for me at the time. It was a huge escape. You know, I never forget one time I was in like middle school. I was like, no, it was like elementary school or something. It was like, no, middle school. I was like the new kid on the block. And I don't know, I said something at school and I was supposed to get jumped that afternoon. And that kid said, outside 3 o'clock. And I was like, General Hospital comes on at 3 o'clock. That was my legit response, That was a new kid on the block. Now, granted, I didn't know where the back door of the school was, but that day I found out where the back door of the school was that day. All right. Oh gosh. All right. Dolomedic says, I saw that interview and I'm so thankful he took that down. I was really concerned about. Yeah. It makes you wonder what was going on with all that. Kaiwan says that I died when I first started watching all the soaps. Wow. So I'm guessing, when you watch certain soaps, especially, was there a particular soap in your mind that, if you ever see any repeats or clips of it, it brings back those memories for you by any chance? Aurora Jones says, I wish we still had All My Children Life to Live. Yes. I was watching One Life to Live earlier this day, August 2011, when Todd came back and he's like, that's not Todd. He's my brother. And then, the star went up and touched his face. Oh, I was watching that earlier today. I was like, man, this was good soap back then. This was good soap. But I wouldn't complain about today's soap because we do at least have days. One soap is giving it to us good. So I'm going to be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the problem is with being grateful is that we feel like, I think as people why it's hard for us to feel grateful because we don't feel like we're settling at the same time. All right, Dolomedic says, soaps are great comfort food. Days has always been my show because I was raised by my grandparents. Something about the grandparent-grandchild relationship on Days brings me peace. Oh, okay, I love that. Didi loves Sydney. Hey, Didi, I've never seen you before in the chat. Hey, Didi. Hey, Didi. One Life to Live rape story with Todd. Yeah, that storyline was epic. They had the whole viewer discretion is advised. They got that going on. The episode is going to be good. That. Kaiwan says Adam lost a memory storyline on All My Children. Okay, got it. Yeah, because that was the one storyline that you would truly remember. Wow. Thank you guys for being so vulnerable, open in today's chat. I love that. Thank you guys. Even though you guys don't have to. This is a safe space here at the sanctuary. This ain't soap Twitter. This is a safe space. All right, Albert said, think about it. People in the chat is going through stuff, so I'm always trying to be nice and happy, come on despite what they're going through. They still come in, Okay, true. That's true. That's always true. Because they could have been anywhere, but they chose to be here tonight, so you can always appreciate that. All right, Didi loves Sydney says, I watch One Life to Live with my mom. I still think about her when I watch GH. Oh my God. When I watch any episode of My Children, it takes me back to when I was in middle school, 12 years old, at the pizza shop, watching the 8 guys with the suits come in on Wednesdays. Don't know what that was all about, but they always came in on Wednesdays to talk business in the back of the pizza shop because I would go get my pizza and bring it home, usually on Wednesdays. Like I said, that's when the guys were there in the suits, going to the back of the pizza shop in their suits to discuss business. It was given the Gambino crime family. Corinthos coffee vibes. All right. D Love Sydney says she wasn't an ABC girl. She wasn't or she was? Or was your mom more into CBS? Oh, was. Okay, was. She was an ABC girl. Was. Yeah, same. My family was ABC, so they were ABC people. So One Life to Live, General Hospital. They never watched Loving though. Or Port Charles. That was never in their orbit for whatever reason. I don't know why. That was just never in there. That was never in the orbit. I think about, like I said, like when it comes to these past soap characters, well, I want to say actors and actresses. And it's so weird. Sonya Eddy died around this time. It's so weird. GH this week was okay. It was okay. It was okay. So I realized that the guys that was been following Austin on GH, Austin Gatlin Hall, he remembered he was a quartermain this week. The writers remembered he was finally a quartermain this week. And then they'll forget for the rest of next year. That bald-headed guy is actually really his cousin. Like, that's really his cousin on the show, obviously. Like, that's really Austin's cousin. I thought that was a guy blackmailing him and using the title cousin as like a guise, Guise. So, all right, Dolomag says, I still remember a flashback of teen Julie talking to Mrs. Horton. Julie was a troublemaker and asked Alice how she could still love her. Alice responded, how can I not? Aww, guys. But it's weird though. Christmas scenes on soaps don't really do anything for me these days for some reason. It feels like a lot of filler episodes to me. I'm like, oh, okay, this is filler. I was cleaning and doing laundry when I was watching GH today. It was just so much could have been better. All right, so much could have been better. But it was a Christmas scene. I let it go. It was a little cheesy to have the I guess she was that girl supposed to represent Virgin Mary on GH. She's giving birth, and then Britt barges in like, "Did someone need a delivery done?" Like she said something along those lines. Someone needed to deliver a baby, you know. And I was like, I just looked at her like this. Like that was my question. Like, okay. Like I'm still trying to prop up this Luke and Cody romance, and it's like it's done. Like guys, it's just dead. Just kill it. It's just dead. It's not working. It's just dead at this point. All right. Dee Loves Sydney says my mom's soap was actually all 3 ABC soaps, but she loves Susan Lucci on My Children. Yeah, my mom was a big On My Children fan, but a lot of people, like the kids that I used to grow up with, they weren't allowed to watch On My Children. They were allowed to watch GH, but not All My Children, because of Erica Kane. Long story. Yeah. Don't ask me why. Their parents would not allow them to watch All My Children because of Susan Lucci, but they were allowed to watch GH, and their parents loved GH all day long. I don't know. All right. Kaiwan says, I think Austin's mother is a villain somewhat. Was she Beatrice LaFleur? Right? Beatrice LaFleur? I think it was. Nathan says, hey, DC. Hey, Nathan. Nathan Burks. Albert says, the soaps was trash and Y&R was the worst. It's just a dream scene between the both of them. I didn't really watch Y&R this week. They had Daniel Ramalotti Sr. come on. I didn't really watch Y&R this week. Aurora says, I love Britt. This show really did her wrong after the whole Jason mess. Yeah, that wasn't the intention. This Cody storyline is just really not working. And it's like, honestly, why would she still try to be with a guy after this? They're not teenagers. They're a grown woman. If he really wanted to get a hold of those jewels instead of being actual with her, that's not somebody she needs to be with. Like, GH, it's done. Just kill it. It's done. That storyline is done. Nathan says, I heard that a rumor that Britt may get killed up because of the hook killer. If that happens, what a cop out. But I mean, the thing is, Nathan, that she's gonna leave anyways. She's gonna leave anyways. So maybe it's for the best that's the way Britt goes out. And at least we care about Britt, and she's been around for a longer time. She's been around longer than Brando and Rory. So, you know, GH, I don't know what to say. Dex and Jocelyn are at least a good couple match, so I could do that. But the fact that she's leaving her good, sweethearted boyfriend for that man, it's terrible. All right, Didi Loves Sydney says B&B is too hard to follow, but the ancestral crap is out. Ancestral crap out is on there. Hard to follow, the ancestral crap out is on there. Okay, I see what you mean. It's hard to follow the ancestral. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Kaiwan says F. Austin and Brooklyn should be together because they were together and aunt, and they were brother and sister on One Life to Live. And they were brother and sister. Austin and Brooklyn should be together because they were together and aunt, and they were brother and sister on One Life to Live. Okay, well, if I'm not mistaken, Roger Howard played Todd Manning, and Todd Manning was not related to Kimberly Andrews, which is her character on One Life to Live. She was related to the guy who played Cody. Is that what you mean, the guy who played Cody? They played brother and sister. Yeah, they did play. The guy who played Cody played, God, I can't remember his name, but they were like the daughter and son of Alex Olenoff on One Life to Live. So she played sister to the guy who played Cody in One Life to Live, if that's what you mean. All right, Dylan says, I had a little group of friends that would talk about what days was on the phone during the summer growing up. Okay, all right. Man, I had nobody to talk to myself growing up. It was just me, myself, and I had nobody to talk to about those guys. Nobody. Okay, Kaiwan says, because they are a great comedy duo. You know, Austin should be doing more at the Quartermains, and I honestly feel like him and Brooklyn should have a good cousin relationship. They're cut from the same cloth, same WhatsApp group. So they're cut from the same cloth at this point. I think they should be able to do that. I think they should be able to do that, honestly. I think they really should be able to do that. Look at my phone. My phone has my live on, guys. Can I focus it up? Look at it. That's my phone too. I saw something pop up, but it's just alive. I have it on here just to see comments, and I know that sometimes StreamYard can go a little slow. But I mean, I hope they can do that with Austin and Brooklyn. It's necessary. This week's GH was all right. It was all right. It was all right. I've seen other soaps where they have had better Christmas episodes because there was an impactful storyline right before, and so the Christmas storylines felt more deeper than what they do now. Dolomenic says, I remember it was the summer Stefano kidnapped Marlena and locked her in a cage under Paris. Stefano was always doing something to Marlena. He had this obsession with Marlena. She was a lady of the night. Stefano was obsessed with Marlena Evans. Marlena Evans Black. I don't know if you guys remember, there was an episode of Days in, I think it was 2011. 2011 was a good year on Days, where Ariana, Gabby's sister, was dating Brady. And they went to like this mysterious island or something. And Brady gave her like this jewel necklace or whatever, this pearl necklace, and the pearls dropped. And there was a psychic nearby. And the psychic goes, and then I think Ariana tried to pick them up or something. The psychic goes, no, you cannot. And then she goes, and Ariana, who was played by the actress who played Teresa Lopez Fitzgerald in Passion, Teresa Hartley. So she played Ariana on Days. You know, they're trying to recreate the Ethan and Teresa chemistry, but on Days, right? And I remember when she dropped the pearls that Brady gave her on the floor when they were in like the tiki hut or something. And the lady is psychic. She has short hair. She goes, Madame, do you know what this means? And then she goes, no, what? What does it mean? And then her and Brady look at the psychic and she goes, Madame, this union will not stand. And then it went dum bum 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 bum, like sand through the hourglass. So are the days of our lives. Bum bum bum. Oh gosh. All right, Dolomenic says Stefano and Sammy kept the party going in the 90s with their schemes. Stefano and Sammy were such an integral part of the show. I mean, do you remember the time when Stefano tried to force a surgery on Sammy to get her stem cells when she was pregnant with Johnny and Allie? And this was back in 2008. And I remember she was on the gurney and Tony brought her in, but it was really Andre. And then Samantha goes, where am I? You know, she straps to the gurney, where am I? Let go of me. And then Andre goes, Stefano needs the stem cells. Get Miss Roberts ready for surgery. ASAP. Daddy's waiting. Because at the time, Stefano had died like he usually did, but he was back from the dead, but he needed to be saved. He had an illness, and Stemmy's stem cells were going to save Stefano. And then it started the whole, what was the reason behind the Demare versus Brady feud storyline? So that was a good time. That was a good time to be alive on soaps. That was a good time to be alive. Are you guys remember that storyline? The whole Brady versus Demare thing on, it was back in 2008. Man, that was good. And it was revealed that John is the son of he's Stefano's brother. So he was a Demare, but they messed that up when they rewrote history. It was really a shame. It was really, really a shame when they rewrote history with John Black. Really, really a shame when they did that. But that was a storyline at the time. Where's my charger? I don't have my charger. Guys, I'm gonna end up pulling an Albert Bostic in a minute. So my charger's at 5%. When I'm pulling an Albert Bostic in a minute. No, I still got some percentages on here, so I still should be doing pretty good. Uh-oh, what happened to my camera, guys? What happened to my camera? Okay, are we good? Hold on, guys. Hold on. Are we good? All right. I guess my camera went a little blurry, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I guess I moved something. Can't move nothing. Hold on, guys. Let me do this for a second. Hold on. Yep, there we go. That fixed it. Can you guys still hear me? As long as I fixed it, we're good to go. All right, Dolomenic says that was when they were using EJ and Sammy in the flashbacks, right? Yes, where they were playing Santo and Colleen, Santo, Demara, and Colleen Brady. So that was a good way to put an end to the whole Pawn storyline on Days that had went on forever and a day. So, you know. Kaiwan says, if you were able to get any rain from back in the day on Days, what would you get for General Hospital? To get any rain? What do you mean by that? Can you rephrase that question, Kaiwan? Can you rephrase that? If you were able to get any rain from back in the day, can you rephrase that for me? But I guess that storyline was just completely epic. Man, that was a good storyline. And then they found out that Tony wasn't the one who died in the quicksand. Remember when quicksand was the thing on soaps, the quicksand thing? And then Soap was like, yeah, I remember all those years ago back when we were in Haiti and the flight went down from back in the 80s. I remember it was really Tony with us on the flight. And they were all the Brady pub. Oh my God, that was a good storyline. Oh God. Oh my God. I was in love with Days at a Time. Or like when EJ had the tarot card that he would show Steve, and Steve was possessed technically or under mind control. It was giving EJ was like the original Victor Castline, where Victor Castline came in. You know, so it was a good time, guys. It was a good time. It was a good time with soaps. I totally remember that. George, welcome into the chat. George says, sorry I'm late, DC. How is everyone? Everyone is great, George. You're right on time. You're right on time. You're right on time. You're right on time. So George, I want to ask you, since you're just coming in the chat, I was asking everyone a personal question. You have to disclose if you don't want to or answer it. But my question to everybody tonight was a little off topic from soaps is, what is the biggest lesson you've learned so far from 2022? And what I shared my lesson was that if I ever need to get out of a situation, whatever it was, you know, work, relationship, whatever it was, or a job, whatever, that I didn't always have to wait for something sinister to take place, right? In order to justify my reason leaving if I see something is no longer working for me. So my question to you is, what is the biggest lesson that you have learned in 2022? That's my question for you. All right. Nikisha Moore says, ha ha ha. It makes me think of anime when they go ha 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 ha. You know, like they're on Dragon Ball Z and stuff. Okay, Nikisha says, ha. As an adult, I'm disappointed at how rare quicksand is. Soaps have me thinking I need to know how to survive the quicksand. It is. Quicksand is so rare. It is. I think the last time they did quicksand was, oh God, Days did it again, I think, in 2008 with Tony and Andre again. I think before that it was what As World Turns with Carly and JJ, and they were in the quicksand. Yeah, so was no quicksand thing. It was just, yeah, that was something else. No quicksand thing on soaps. That was something else. Like, where does somebody even buy quicksand? Can it even be bought? Like, where do you even find that? Do you find like on a rare island in the Fiji Islands or something? Where do you even find the quicksand? Like, that's something I wonder, you know? So, I mean, I kind of felt that way too. I kind of felt that they had us thinking, you know, but you know what was weird? I remember, like I said, watching soaps as a kid. Well, not even soaps, TV in general. I used to think that if you kissed someone of the opposite sex, you got them pregnant. Because, you know, obviously TV shows didn't show how things really went down, right? You only saw a little bit of it, right? So I used to think when I was a kid in elementary school, my God, I better not kiss a girl. She's gonna get pregnant. My God, what are my parents gonna think? My God. Oh gosh, the things you learn as kids, man. Things you learn as kids. It's crazy. It's crazy. As you get older, obviously you learn a lot more, and you know, your mind advances more, right? So, but honestly, guys, like for me, like I said, this year for me has just been, it's been a really reflective year. It's been really reflective. And I've also learned too, how to let things go. I've learned that a lot this year, how to let things go. That there's never always going to be, sometimes there won't be a perfect time for you to do something, honestly. And I've also learned that the relationship you have with yourself is really in a lot of ways going to determine the relationship you have with other people. I learned that. All right, Dee Dee Loves Sydney says, life is short, live your life and remind yourself to find joy in every day, even if it's hard some days. Yeah, because it's really, it's tough to find. People say you got to find the joy in the gratitude because it's not every day, you know. Like every day I try to meditate and pray and do those, but some days I don't do it. I'm gonna be honest, some days I don't. But I've done it more than I think I have in past years, you know, and trying to find the joy and feel hopeful about things. It's not always easy. It really takes practice, and there's some days you're really not gonna feel it, and that's the reality, you know. Kaiwan says, I know early because my mom let me watch out. And Dolomeg says, I remember shows making you think high school was just hang around the halls for hours. Yeah, those schools made it seem like those shows really made it so unrealistic in high school. They can just do all these things. That's not how things work. Yeah, it's not how things work. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be the big man on campus, going to high school. Gonna know all these things. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. George Blackman says, the biggest lesson I learned this year is if you have someone great in your life, hold on to them. Don't try to go after someone else, because grass is not always greener on the other side. That's a big one, George. That's a big one. That's true. That's true. One thing I've also learned too is to appreciate people. I've been in a situation this year where I realized that, even though I had to exit the situation at some point, I don't feel like I could have fully appreciated the person the way I wanted to. But also that's because I feel like I wasn't being appreciated myself either, like by them. But you're right. Definitely don't try to go after someone else because the grass is not always green on the other side. I agree. Sometimes we think that. But see, then that brings up a tough dynamic, right? We have to learn the grass not always green on the other side, but we're always told by society, media, and all this other stuff, we should strive for the best. We should want more, never settle. So it's like, how do we find that balance sometimes, right? How do we find that balance? Jakarius, you are not late to the party. You're right on time. There's no tardiness here in the sanctuary. There's no tardiness here in the sanctuary. But it's okay, because I know some people had Christmas Eve, they had some, or Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa. Does anybody still celebrate Kwanzaa, by the way? That's a serious question, because I have not heard nobody talk about Kwanzaa in years. Like, for real. Or Hanukkah, right? Or Hanukkah. All right, Jakar says, what was your favorite Epiphany moments? Recently when Marshall had the heart attack, she was, Marshall! That was one of them. Or when Stan died on GH, I loved seeing Epiphany and the way she really gave her acting chops that time. Aurora Jones says, gonna start saving more money in 2023 if possible, because, oh man, hey, right? And that's one thing I've learned in 2022, Aurora. Another thing I learned is never to chase after anything. Don't chase after a relationship. Don't chase after a job. Don't chase after money. Don't chase after anything. Because what is truly yours, you'll never have to chase after it. I know that sounds so woo and so Confucius, like, right? But, I kind of feel like it's true. I find in life, for whatever reason, and I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way, but I just find in life, for whatever reason, when we chase after something, it just runs away. It just runs farther away from us, right? And it's like whatever we put on a pedestal in our minds, it's almost like it has no choice but to look down on us. You ever notice that? You ever notice, like, when you don't care about something or someone, I don't even care. It's like, it's all over you now. Now it wants to come to you. You ever notice that? They say it's like letting go and stuff, but yeah. All right. Dylan Meg says, I remember Epiphany once threatened to turn Carl upside down, literally mop the floor with her. See, that's Epiphany we know. I recall her doing it at one point in time. I can't recall the exact moment, but I can remember something like that she did that. Nikisha Moore says, my family usually does Kwanzaa. This year, Christmas and Kwanzaa has to wait until the electricity is restored. And hey, you're right. Listen, you're right. I get it. You're right. Aurora Jones says, so true. Jakaria says, what I learned from this year is if these people want to believe the rumors about you, just let them, don't come running to me. Okay, I know that's right, dude. That's right, dude. Kaiwan says, put something personal in your life in the soap. What would you put in it? What would you put it now? Okay, put something personal in your, okay, if I had to put something personal in my life in the soaps that I was watching, what would I put in it? Okay, I think it's like what was it? Spilling my tea? I'd be spilling my tea if I did that, right? You know what? I'll be honest. Something I'm working on right now in my life, guys, is I'm trying to go to grad school, and I'm okay with putting that out there, right? I would love to see a storyline or something like that, or someone working to build a business on something. We never see that. We never see realistic storylines, right? Everyone just happens to come from a media conglomerate family. You know what I'm saying? I don't know anybody like that in real life. Does that answer your question, Kaiwan? Does that answer your question? All right, Grams TV says, how's everyone doing tonight? Grams TV. Grams says, I'm doing all right, Grams. How are you doing, Grams? Grams, so this is the question I'm asking you about it. Can you do a polls in here? Oh, Lord, I don't know how this thing works. StreamYard. Grams, the question I'm asking everyone tonight is the biggest lesson they learned in 2022, right? So the biggest lesson I've learned is that whenever you need to exit something, whether it's a job or a relationship or whatever it is, you don't always have to wait for something sinister to happen or to take place in order for you to exit something that's no longer working for you, right? That's the biggest lesson I've learned, right? And then you don't have to play a blame game. It's just possible things are just no longer aligned for both parties or whatever it is. So my question to you is, what is the biggest lesson you learned for 2022? Kaiwan says, okay, gotcha, Kaiwan. I won't repeat that since I'm sure it's kind of private for you. I'm going to put that on the screen since I know that's probably a private thing, but I appreciate you sharing that. Okay, I see what you mean. I think the biggest thing is, honestly, I feel like soaps are doing it right now with Chelsea on YNR, because I had struggled with my own mental health years ago. I'll just put it like that, you know? So seeing that play out on YNR, I was like, wow, this is a real storyline. I think people can actually relate to this. Oh, wow, we're not focused on like Victor trying to take over Jabot for the 18,000th time. Oh my God, we get a real storyline that real people can relate to. Wow, look at YNR. Look at YNR, guys. Look at it. Look at YNR. It's incredible that they're actually doing a real true blue storyline. I can appreciate that. Ottawa 20. There it is. There it is. Ottawa 20. Ottawa 20. Ottawa 20. There it is. There it is. Welcome to the chat, Ottawa. You've been missed. Ottawa 20 is back, ladies and gentlemen. They make their return to the chat this week on the Soul Sanctuary. All right. Dolomex says, I'd probably include imposter syndrome along with one of the young doctors in the GH. Good idea. I like that. I like that. The real things that real people can relate to. I like that. I like that. I think that would actually work out really well if they really truly did do that. Nikisha says, Cam is the only character who feels like he actually works for a living. Poor kid, he's basically a single dad, right? Supporting Elizabeth and all them kids. Oh gosh. I miss that. You know, I miss the realism of those things on soaps. I don't feel we get enough of that anymore. Like when Drusilla was learning to read on Young and the Restless, I wasn't alive during that time, but just to see it, you know what I mean? All right, Jacarius, the soap after show with Jacarius Naylor. I love that name, the soap after show. Like, what? That's like a presence. That name right there is like a presence. The soap after show with Jacarius Naylor. Like, if you're in the chat, you can't forget a name like that. You won't forget it. You just can't. You can't. All right, so Jacarius says, soap Twitter can be a mess. What I learned from this year is not to let anybody dictate me who I talk or chat with. Yeah, soap Twitter can be like that. I think with soap Twitter, it's all about dropping on there, dropping the content you need to drop and get off. And of course, you're on Twitter, soap's Twitter Spaces. So it's about really connecting with the people that are on there. You know, really connecting with them. Hold on a second. Hold on, guys. Hold on, I got some text messages. I got text messages from some friends. All right. And next statement here I got here is George Blackman says, "Ride on, Jacarius." You know, I hear people say "ride on." I think of like good times and go "ride on." All right, hey Albert. Albert's back in the chat. My title was inspired by The Daily Show. I love that, Jacarius. I love that. I love it. I'm so here for it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love that. I mean, so Twitter can be a good thing, but then sometimes, like I said, it can be quite monstrous at times too. Ooh, okay. Ooh, I see that battery life is going out. Oh, but we still got some time. We good though, guys. We good though. We won't be out here in the streets. I'm probably gonna go about like in the next 5 or 10 minutes, but I like this. Our Dolomex says this is random, but I like when soaps actually reference the characters' degrees and things like that. Yeah, I actually like that too. I mean, we never see people in soaps actually go through processes. Like, I'm applying for a job. I mean, I understand you can't get that tedious with details because we have a show that has 30, 45 minutes to tell a story. But I think that's the thing I like about international soaps, that realistic element is there for me. So, which I don't see in American soaps. I don't. Everyone just happens to be part of $1 million family. I can't relate. I'm not saying it can't be like that, but give me something I can really connect with, make it meaty for me, you know? Taiwan says, do you think GH will be like if we have Bob Google Map? Bob Gooza back. Okay, what would GH be like if we have Bob Gooza back? This whole Hook Killer storyline would have been done so differently, because you saw how he did the text message killer. This would have been so differently. I don't think the writers even know who's the killer. I don't think they even know who the killer is, Kaiwan. Nikisha says, Jakari's, who would you pick to take over for Trevor Noah? You know, can I add my 2 bits on that? I know you guys have a minute comment. Can I add my 2 bits on that? Trevor Noah was so good. I think at times better than Jon Stewart, if you ask me personally. Because I feel like he made the show watchable and interesting. I don't know. Who would be a good replacement for him? He was like a journalist at the same time and funny, comedic. He was everything. I don't even know, guys. I don't even know. All right. Jakari says, I'm gonna let Jakari say. I want to see what Jakari's answers to that when he responds in the chat, Keisha. All right. Jakari says, I would love for soaps to focus more on disability and. Wait a minute. Let me go back to Keisha. What about? I don't know. I was gonna say Michael Strahan. Never mind. Don't mind me. Just move on. Don't mind me. Said Michael Strahan. What am I thinking? All right. Jakari says, I would love for soaps to focus more on disability and inclusion. I would for them too, because it makes it real. When they had that guy on All My Children who played, I forgot his name, he played the war veteran, and you know, obviously his face had gone through some changes because he was actually real life war. That was real to me. That was real. That wasn't makeup. That was really how he looked in real life. That was real. That's why you gotta respect Agnes Nixon. She knew that in order for us to really connect with what we're seeing at hand, we need real people on the show. The problem is that half of All My Children's viewer base checked out already at that time. So it wasn't as impactful as it could have been, in my opinion, how I feel. Nolan Medic says, they make it seem like people go from high school to CEO. Yeah, that's not realistic. I never heard about nobody in these soaps having student loans. Make it real, you know? Yeah, Agnes Nixon used to say, make them wait, make it real. Okay, Jakar says, wow, Lakeisha, I would say Janelle Monáe. Oh, Jakari, I actually like that. Joel Meg says he likes Amber Ruffin as a potential replacement. I think I know who that is, but it's not clicking to me right now. Who Amber Ruffin is. All right, Ottawa 20 says, WWE wrestler is a bad guy villain named Seth Rollins invaded the Daily Show, beat up John back in early 2015. Let's see here. Seth Rollins. I know that name. Jon Stewart just wasn't as good as Trevor Noah, for my opinion. Trevor Noah was witty, funny. He had everything. He had it going on. All right. Nikisha says, I heard Chelsea Handler wanted. I hope they don't pick her. Yeah. No, Chelsea. Yeah, it's a no for me to Chelsea Handler, too. It's a no. It's a no for me to Chelsea Handler. It's definitely a no for me. Chelsea Handler. Nah. All right, Kaiwan says, I'm thinking about starting my own YouTube channels. Okay, Kaiwan, what's the topic? What would the topic be on the channel? Let us know. Let's see here. I got 15% remaining on my battery. So I got like 3 more minutes on this, guys. And yes, Albert, I am pulling you today. Yes, I am pulling you. Yes. But because the thing is my battery's outside, but plus I know my family's gonna come back in here like 5-10 minutes. So it's gonna be super noisy. So this is why I've been doing this on Saturdays, because I know my family's been here and everything. So it's been kind of tough to do it. I need dead silence at times. I don't always have that. All right. Jojo Joestar. Hey, Jojo. I've never seen you over in the chat. What's your favorite show? Favorite soap right now is Days, and favorite non-soap show would have to be... Where's my non-favorite soap show? Okay, I'd have to come back to that. I know my favorite soap is, but you know. Okay, Jakari says, if you didn't know, Theo from Days of Our Lives autistic. Yes. But they never showed what it's like from having autistic as an adult. That's my issue. Why don't we see the progression of that? Once again, you wrote a storyline that you can just literally continue on from years down under, but you're not working with it. All right. The card says, didn't Holly have a daughter with Down syndrome? Holly from GH? Is that what you're saying? All right, Kaiwan says, things I'm gonna come with, and basically everything, drama, soaps, class movies, and more of a libertarian view of all of it. Classic libertarian view if you still. Okay, Kaiwan, that's a good idea. Just make sure, I think you just have a somewhat of a focus so it doesn't get too general, right? So you don't fall into that YouTube algorithm pit, you know? But I think it's doing well. Okay, I got it. You want to focus on like classics. I love that. I love people who love classics. Listen, I was watching this movie that they call Life of Father. It's a 1940s movie. I love watching old stuff, guys. I don't know what it is. It was a simpler time. Well, it wouldn't have been simpler for me if I was alive that time for obvious reasons. It would have been a harder time for me. It wouldn't have been simple for me, though. All right. Nikisha says, I thought GH was going to make Austin autistic. I thought so, too. My son's on spectrum, so I'd love to see more represent. Yeah, we never seen an adult on a soap have that, so that would be new for them. Holly from Guiding Light had a daughter with Down syndrome. Well, her only daughter was Christina Blake, right? If I'm not mistaken. Was that her only daughter? Was Christina Blake? I think it was. Hold on, guys. Let me go get this charger. I don't feel like pulling an Albert. I'm going to be right back, guys. I'm going to get this charger. I'm not pulling an Albert tonight. All right, guys, I'm back. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. All right. I am back, guys. How do I get this camera to focus? All right. It's got me blurry. Nothing I can do about it, guys. It's got me blurry. Why is it not blurry, guys? But I'm back. I did not pull an Albert Bostic on today's live, guys. I found my charger. That's what you do. That's how you represent. All right. I found my charger, guys. That's what we do around here, okay? I found my charger, all right? Let me get back to these comments, guys. Sorry for the delay. All right. Zolmac said she had a daughter with Fletcher, too. She did? I didn't know that Holly had a daughter with Fletcher. I didn't know that. All right, Dee loves Sydney says, nice being hanging out on Christmas Eve with everybody. How's everyone's Christmas Eve going for those who celebrate Christmas Eve? And for those who don't celebrate holidays, too. Any Jehovah's Witnesses in the chat? And I mean that honestly, respectfully, I really do. Kaiwan says, I'm first in line to the Santa Barbara season 3. I'm actually watching season 1 of Santa Barbara. Kaiwan, all right. I see you. All right, Nikisha says, I haven't seen the last couple episodes of GH. Why in the world are we showing Ellie and Griffin? I don't care about either of them. Doesn't GH have enough stories going on already? See, that's the thing too, Nikisha. When I saw that, I said to myself, Ellie is still a thing on GH. Like, I thought her and Stanley were long gone. And it was weird. They showed Griffin's, picture that he was calling her, and I'm like, are they gonna do something with this storyline? Because if not, I don't know why this is even being mentioned. I just didn't get it, and I don't think they even will, because the guy who plays Griffin didn't even actually come on the show. They showed his picture, but I'm sure he got paid a little bit for that, and that's all that mattered. It was just random as hell, If then he should be calling Anna. Why the hell is calling Ellie? That's just so random. All right, Jakari says, I love the diversity in Days, but they need to stop putting their black characters in jail. I wasn't so upset about that, Jakarius, because I feel like they've actually written for the black characters pretty well. They're people in high places, if you think about it, with Paulina being this real estate mogul, A being the governor, Lonnie and Eli are cops. So I think they've, and then same with Jada. So I think they've actually written for them well. I feel like Jada's like supposed to be like a replacement of Lonnie in its own universal, parallel universe way of on Days. Otto 20 says, a villain bad guy, W wrestler named Seth Rollins, a ski mask beating a police officer in WWE, 2K18, cover revealed trailer back in 17. All right, Otto, we got you. I went to an NXT show, actually. What was it, a week or two ago back? All right, Kaiwan says, gonna be Peter. Gonna be Peter? What it mean, Kaiwan gonna be Peter? Are we referring to Santa Barbara? All right, Jakari says, I didn't like yesterday's episode, GH. Yeah, the lady giving birth in a quarter-man living room, like, okay, like, all right, it's getting cheesy for me, Dulameg says, I am less offended by the black actors on Days going to jail. They actually tell a story to that. The Sean Gell story on GH was offensive. Oh, yeah, when he was like the whole Hayden Barnes thing, yeah, because that whole thing made no sense. That whole thing, man. And see, this is the thing about Elizabeth. She's colluding with the man who had her sister shot. I don't feel bad for Elizabeth no more. I just don't feel bad for her anymore. I don't feel bad for Elizabeth. She deserves everything she gets right now. How do you agree to hold a... You feel so bad that you pushed, you know, Reiko down the stairs. And I think Reiko was pregnant, right? But yet now you're holding a woman hostage. And you're causing all this damage to your family for who? Nicholas Castine? It's not even worth it. You're not even in love with this man. It ain't even worth it. Is it worth it? Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's yearn for my nipple flan yet. It's yearn for my nipple flan yet. It's giving Missy Elliott, guys. Dolomex says Lonnie was a cop that had a history of messing up, and Paulina did stuff Erica and all my children would do. She did. Paulina does remind me of Erica Kane in a lot of ways. She really does. She really does. She really does remind me. Speaking of which, guys, I said this last week how Olivia is the new Quartermain matriarch. Some of you guys didn't agree with me. But what did Cody call Olivia this week? Mama Q. Mama Q. Mama Q. Not Monica. Not Tracy. Olivia. Thanks for playing. All right. Jakari says, I cannot stand Sloane. I'm actually really loving Sloane. I really am. It's giving Bold and the Beautiful on days. So I like it. I like it. All right. Didi Love City says Elizabeth needs to focus on herself and her family. She does. Elizabeth needs to focus on a lot of things. She's worried about the wrong things, in my opinion. Helping Nicholas out and just sacrificing the whole family. You got your own issues going on. Girl, what are you doing? What are you doing? And now you know that Esme is not the hook. So who is? I knew Esme wasn't the hook, guys. Remember when Albert was like, Esme is the hook, guys? I think we've established Esme is the hook. Where's Albert at? Where's he at? Did he hide from the chat? Where's he at? He's hiding out here. Where'd Albert run to? I'm just kidding, guys. All right. Jakar says, I don't know how to feel about Elizabeth anymore. Actually, I don't like her anyways. I've never been crazier about Elizabeth, to be honest. I know some of you guys are like so up in arms, want the best storyline for her. And I just never really noticed her that often. But I don't know how I feel about her either. Her character is just really tarnished to me. They never really given her more beyond this. When she was Franco's wife, she was getting something good. And I hate to say it, but that gave her like an identity on the show again. Oh God, I don't want to say that. But it gave her something to do. Agisha says Olivia can be a matriarch by default. There's nobody else. True, she kind of is by default. She is. But I also feel like Olivia does have that old-fashioned matriarch kind of vibe to her. It's giving Maureen Bauer. Nikisha says Spencer might be onto something. Elizabeth could be having another more subtle breakdown. True. And of course, Nicholas is taking advantage of that. Jolie Meg says, I love Sloane. She's giving millennial Kate Roberts. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's giving that classic Kate Roberts. Do you remember that scene on Days where Lucas slapped Kate like 5 times? And I'm like, bruh. Like, I saw that scene. I was like, this is on TV. And Lucas was still considered a good character for this. Like, he slapped her like 5 times. And then years later, he slapped Sammy a couple of times too. Okay. All right. Albert says, yeah, I cannot, man. I was wrong about Esme. The serial killer is never who you think it is, guys. Guys, this is soap opera 101, okay? Soap opera 101, okay? All right? I'm working on my PhD in soap opera 101 right now, all right? The serial killer is never the most obvious suspect, guys. It's never obvious. And a serial killer is never revealed in the middle of the week. It's not soapy. It's not soapy, guys. It doesn't adhere to the laws of the soap opera universe. Serial killers are never revealed on the middle of the week, all right? If anything in a huge storyline is revealed in the middle of the week, it's either a red herring, meaning it's a distraction, or that was really choppy in the writer's part, and whoever's that writer need to be fired. You don't reveal a twist in the middle of the week. You don't do it. You just don't do it. Now, it is okay. Soap Opera 101, Section B, Article 5, line, I just made this up, line 25A, okay? It is okay to kill a character in the middle of the week, provided they're not that essential to canvas. Brando Corbin, ladies and gentlemen. Brando Corbin. All right, Dolomag says, I love, okay, I just read that part. Aurora says, I couldn't stand Elizabeth when she was obsessing over Jason. Those times really brought out the worst in her. Yeah, but it brought more worse than Sam. She let the baby Jake get kidnapped. Okay, Jakari says, I want Eric and Nicole don't get together because I'm so tired of the couple. I already can't stand Misty circles. I just realized why that was her adult. Because she used to be an adult star, Nicole. And why I get now why it was called Misty Circles. Like it didn't dawn on me till later on. This is still a PG show, guys. This is still a family show tonight. Still a family show. All right, Kaiwan says, I think the colors in the nail are or somebody related to Carly. Who could it be related to Carly? Reese, perhaps? Yeah. But then why kill Rory? It's so confusing, guys. It's just like, I don't even want to even figure it out anymore. Okay, Nikisha says, I think it's Heather. I think the writers were being cheeky when they had Diane say that the kid looked familiar, but she couldn't place her because of the recast. Oh. It kind of looks like it's Heather at this point, but I would have preferred it to have been an original Heather, but it's okay. I'm over this whole Hook storyline thing. All right, Dolomag says, remember when Kate did drug Sammy's unconscious body over to dead Franco and stuck a gun in her hand? Yeah. Kate was boss. Kate Roberts is a boss. The thing about Kate is she doesn't need none of her kids on canvas and she can stand alone. It's not every soap character that can do that, where if they could not have their family on canvas, they can still stand alone as a character, unless they've been really well written. It's very rare that happens. It's very rare. That's another lesson in soap opera history 101. All right, that's another one. All right. Albert says that's right, PG-13. On his show, Minds is more adult, aka research. There's a lot of research going on. I mean, it's the holidays. Well, people don't get a lot of research on their holidays, or do they? They get a lot of research on their holidays? Do they? Jakari Sneha said the Hook Killer has to be the worst storyline this year. It is. It's one of the worst. When you botch up a serial killer storyline, when you botch that up. Now, if GH does go off the air, if it gets canceled, which I already have my backup soaps ready, so I'm good either way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. If they do, if you notice every soap that managed to get canceled and knew that, and they had enough notice, their last storylines on the show were always bomb, meaning they were the best. Because now they could really tell a story without worrying about how do we tell a story in a way to get ratings. It's different. But of course, that part is too late. One Life to Live was able to do it. It's too late. All My Children was able to do it, but it was too late. Loving was able to do it, but it was too late. Capital was able to do it, but it was too late. Guiding Light was just off. Guiding Light definitely wasn't telling no good stories. Once they did that whole P-Pack look, it was a hot mess. All right. Nikisha says, we know Heather has keys because she comes and goes in Ryan's room when she wants. Heather had Ryan souvenirs, and we know she's traveling because she had that rare infection. Now, Nikisha, is it soapy to you now to find out that it's Heather, or you still don't feel as shocked at this point? All right. Jakari says, same with the Devil mess. I did like Joe Devil, but I don't get why Trip had to save Allie. I would have liked if Trip could die. I like soaps to kind of shock us. Don't be so Cinderella fairy tale. Shock us for a little bit. It's okay. You can shock us. Shock us for a little bit. Like when they killed off Will Horton, I was pissed. But it was good. It showed me that nobody was safe. It was good. All right, Nikisha says Liz's parents / Reiko's death BS was the worst. Yeah, I didn't care about the Reiko thing. And they just dropped that. We didn't understand that. They didn't go deeper with that. And it's like, oh my God, they don't know where these storylines are going. They don't know what they're doing. These people don't know what they're doing. That's why I don't trust authority figures. You think they know what they're doing, what they don't always do. Isaiah says, as a lackluster, as a Hook storyline, it's still better than any B&B storyline from this year. True. Facts on facts, Isaiah, facts on facts. All right, Jakari says, GH better be careful. You don't end up like Days by Moon to Hulu. But the Jakari is, what if the Moon to Hulu full time is the best thing for them? And we get better storylines? And then they know Hulu is a paid subscription site, so they're getting money coming in. What if that's the best thing for them? That's what I'm learning. That's something I learned in life this year. Some things that you think are for the worst. What if it's really the best thing for you? You know? What is the best thing for you? All right. George says, I have a feeling it will be canceled. Bold is giving me that feeling of now being canceled with recent storylines. You think Bold is going to get canceled, George? Bold ain't going nowhere. That international money is keeping them. It's doing pretty good for them. It's doing pretty good. All right, Kaiwan says, I don't like that One Light Till got canceled. You're saying? I don't like that. I don't like to live like canceled. Okay, Kaiwan, can you rephrase that for me? Can you rephrase that for me so I can understand what you were trying to say? Nikisha Moore says, I'm not shocked. Didn't expect to be shocked, though. Can't recall the last time G had shocked me in a good way. Yeah. The Holly thing was not working. The Miss Wu thing didn't even... It's supposed to be a shocker, but I'm like, this is so random. Why does Miss Wu care about Holly Sutton? All right. Jakar says, I was sad that All My Children As World Turns got canceled. Yeah, I was sad, too. As World Turns, I knew it was getting canceled. It was just... It wasn't there anymore. It wasn't there anymore. Dolomedics. Dang, Dolomedics was harsh. Dolomedics says, I'd be cool with them killing off Ali on Days. I think they could spawn some great stories out of that. True. What if Ali gets killed off, Chanel's with a new girl, and Will is pissed, and Johnny's pissed because, like, yo, how could you let our sister? She was there for you. Sammy comes to town. Hurricane Sammy. She gives Chanel something, and Paulina and Sammy face off. Woo! That's a good one. That's a good one. Paulina and Sammy face off. How about that? And how about Paulina and Sammy face off in a way where they go tumbling off a hill or something, and we don't know what happened? And come on, guys, that's gonna be a good one. That's gonna be a good one. All right. Jakaria says that Days of Our Lives did a good move by moving to Peacock, and still some Days fans can't watch it on there. I think it's the Canada fans, right? But Days is broadcasted on a channel in Canada. I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all, Canada has a website, think you can watch it too on that particular channel. But if you're smart, you want to get yourself a little free VPN, go to Canada's site, and then you can watch Days for free. I don't do that, but I'm just saying that's an option. And I'm not saying that's how I watch other shows, international places. I'm just saying this is an option. I really do have a Peacock subscription, but for some of you guys in other countries, what you can do. You gotta be creative, guys. There's so many things you can do in today's world. You gotta look, you know what I mean? You gotta look, you know? All right, Isaiah says, GH is a soap where you can tell that the writers don't have their stories planned out ahead of time. They don't. There's no clear direction. Y'all want to Carvelotti out so bad for the One Light to Live people? Well, you got it. Now deal with it, guys. I'm not saying you, Isaiah, but I'm saying generally, the GH viewers. All right, Ottawa 20 says, attractive young dark brown haired girl, white girl named Mandy Rose got fired from WWE for posting adult content pics. Yes, she was in NXT. She was in NXT Ottawa. My brother was telling me that when we went to the show a few weeks ago that's why she wasn't there, because of that. Jakar says, I remember watching As World Turns one day and I said there's no black people in there anymore. What happened to Bonnie and Jessica? Jessica was the attorney, and I think wasn't Bonnie like her niece or something? I think so, right? I think so, right? And Jakar says, yeah, Days Canadian fans can still watch it on their TVs. Yeah, so I don't know why they're calling it a Peacock exclusive. It's not really exclusive. Someone can watch it on their TV. It's not really as exclusive now, is it? So it's not really exclusive, really, as it is. But you know, what do you gotta do? You know, they need some money. No, I'm not gonna lie. They need some money. I understand that. They need to pay the bills. I understand that. But guys, I think that is my time today, guys. I'm loving today's live. R.I.P. Sonya Eddy. It's just really sad. It is really sad what happened to Sonya Eddy, guys. Okay, Bonnie was Jessica's daughter. Okay, Jakaris, I'm gonna be honest with you. As World Turns is a one soap I really don't know my history on. I can admit that. That is a one soap I don't know. I really don't know too much about. Even though I watched it. It was hard to gauge my interest in As World Turns. I'm sorry. It was hard to keep. I know I just did an As World Turns intro for this live, but it's like, it wasn't one soap that really struggled to keep my attention. It was As World Turns. It really struggled to keep my attention. When will I be back, Jakarius? I will be back come... What is next week? Hold on. Let me take a look. So I may be back next week on New Year's Eve, or I'll be coming back the week afterwards, guys. I'm gonna be back in school, I think, next semester, guys. So it's gonna be hella crazy for me. But I love coming on these live, guys. I love it, guys. I love it. I love coming on these lives. I love talking to you guys. I love chatting with you guys. I really do enjoy this a lot. I really do. Thank you, George, for the compliment. I appreciate it. Thank you. You know, I feel like I'm talking amongst friends here. I'm here in the chat. You know, I'm loving it. So, but I want to come back on and do more lives. I feel like since I can't really do reviews, this is great. You guys get to know what I think about the soaps, get to comment. Shout out to Albert Bostic, for suggesting I do a little more live. So, shout out to him. I really appreciate it. He's like the EJ Demare to my Lee Shin, let's do it like what are they collaborating now, But Merry Christmas, guys. Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy Rosh Hashanah. Well, Rosh Hashanah is in September, guys. Sorry. That's in September. Rosh Hashanah is in September. I almost said Happy Ramadan, but I'm not even gonna. Yeah, what I'm saying. But anyways, guys, this has been a Soap Sanctuary. I have just had an amazing time. I'm gonna go ahead and play the outro, guys. I am out. Like I said, just loving my time here today. This will have my phone here just in case I get the last minute comments, just in case by buzzing out, guys. But guys, I'm out. This has been the Soap Sanctuary. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one, guys. I'm out. All right. Merry Christmas to you too, Isaiah. Merry Christmas. I'm out of her. All right, bye, guys. This has been DC Soap Sanctuary, made part and possible from subscribers like you. Thank you.